yo, now you entered the cutting edge. Hey, yo, now you entered the cutting edge. Hey, yo, now you entered the cutting edge. Hey, yo, now you entered the cutting edge.
You're now listening to The Final Cut with your host, Rush Danja, on Rush Radio.
This show is being brought to you by the CuttingEdgeNetwork.com. Yes, that is the CuttingEdgeNetwork.com. You can find us at www.THEKUTTINGEDGENETWORK. If you would like to call into this week's show and participate as a caller, please call into 516-418-5637. Once again, that's 516-418-5637. Press 1 to go live. Now let's enter the Danger Zone with your host, Rush Danger.
Hey, what's going on out there, my people? What's cracking? It's your man, Rush Danger. Happy New Year to everybody. We hope you had a good time. We hope you were safe. We hope that you had that you brought the New Year in with the people that you love. We want to thank you for tuning in once again. Actually, the very first edition of The Final Cut with your host, Rush Danger. It's my beautiful girl, Soul Kitten, out there with me tonight. Where you at, baby girl?
I'm right here, darling, right here. How are you doing tonight, Rush?
I'm doing all right. How was your New Year's?
Well, you know, we spent part of it together, so it was pretty good. We brought it in right on a positive note. You know, big things are going to be popping, especially here on Cutting Edge Network.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Tonight we got a very, 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 very interesting conversation on the line. We're going to talk about interracial dating tonight, people. We're going to talk about, crossing that color barrier. So tell me what you're thinking about it, Miss Soul Kitten Richardson. Talk to me.
Well, you know what? I don't really have a problem with interracial dating. I have a lot of interracial marriages in my family. I've even dated outside of my race a few times. I think you love who you love. Where I think the problem comes in is when people start comparing and saying that this person is better because they're this race or they're this color. When you start attaching negative connotations to it, that's where the problem comes into play for me. And that's something I have an issue with. But you're going to love who you love.
Okay, well, we're going to jump dead into it, man. We got this first little clip that I'm going to jump down here. It's a little, lighthearted, so we're going to break up the monotony so get everybody going and enjoying themselves tonight. We had a group of people, and it was about people that never dated outside their race, never kissed outside their race. So they had a bunch of people that they got, half black, half white, and saw what it was like for them to have a kiss for the very first time. Yo, here we go, right here on The Final Cut with your host, Rush Danger.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Teddy Ray.
My name's Dana.
My name is Slink Johnson.
I'm Kate Quigley.
I'll be kissing a white girl.
I'll be kissing the European snow princess.
And I'm going to kiss a black guy for the first time. I've never kissed a black guy before.
And it's not because I don't want to. I've thought about it a lot.
I'm originally from Connecticut. It's just not allowed.
Black guys have really big lips. And one time I kissed this Filipino guy with huge lips, and he slobbered all over my face. And I just don't know if I want to go there.
Not attractive. It's a white lips, you know what I'm saying?
I want to get past it, and I want to kiss a black guy. You know, everyone says black guys have, humongous dicks.
I think black guys are intimidated by me because I got that ass.
I don't give a fuck, bitch. You can be purple if you got that ass and you acting right.
So hopefully he's hot, and it'll be great. And who knows? Maybe I'll get his number, and maybe I'll get to see his dick.
Are you nervous?
I got gas. That's why I'm nervous.
You're tall.
Yeah, I'm a real one.
Good. I like this. And you have big lips, so this is a good test.
If you fart while you're kissing me, I will marry you.
It's customary in my culture that we grab a handful of ass. So if you feel my middle finger in your ass crack, don't be alarmed. That's endearment.
Okay.
That's good. You have games.
Oh my God, I haven't had sex in 3 months. I might take him home. Sleep! That's why you don't date brothers. You just move right into the
Nah,
asshole.
see, what happens is this.
See the foot. I don't know if y'all saw the foot slide up. That was preparation number one. You know what I'm saying?
Put it right in.
It was thrilling. It was sensational. I almost kind of felt like I was going to go to jail, especially when my finger got kind of long.
He's really cute though. But I don't let guys stick their finger in my butthole on the first.
You were like a bird, like you just swooped in.
Does this change your perception about black people? Do you clutch your purse a little tighter at night? Or...
No, I'll just open my legs.
Hey.
Would you kiss a black guy again?
Yeah, right now.
I've never kissed a black girl before. I'm not sure what it is. I feel like they just don't feel the same way.
It's like kissing a wall.
I've never tried. I didn't have enough confidence earlier in my life.
I will say this though, I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I am excited.
They don't have lips. It's kind of hard to kiss a white dude.
Everyone looks at you and they're like, man, he's a pimp.
So I think you got to bring your A game whenever you're approaching a black girl.
I hope he can like follow through.
I'm gonna make out with her, make her fall in love.
You're not too bad.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
I'm Jeremiah.
Sherelle, I brought protection.
But those are real lips.
What's your name?
Kiss the fuck. You gonna kiss me or what?
Wow.
Ooh.
That was good.
I'm not gonna lie. Paul was shockingly way better than I expected.
You working with something.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, looking at him, it was kind of like, this ain't finna be shit. But then when I kissed him, I'm like, uh-oh, he got a little something.
Right.
He kissed a black bitch before, clearly.
I don't know, all white boys have soft tongues, but this one does, so this one's the winner.
I'm hard.
As he should be.
I ain't got no type. Bad bitches is the only thing.
Shit, line up the white boy.
It's a W for today.
I would kiss a black girl again, you know.
I'm still on the fence. I need a little bit more, like, convincing, but...
Do you need some
he's
more
a good...
convincing?
Sure.
Okay.
Whew. And now, I'm gonna kiss every race in the world, I guarantee it. Because this dude, even though the exterior is just not 100, that kiss was everything. You know what I'm saying?
Black girl?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. When are we doing this again?
All you white boys out there, coming for you.
If you fart while you're kissing me, I will marry you, for sure.
Wow.
Hey, Chief James, now tell me, would you date outside your race, Chief?
Brother, if it came down to it, hey, never say never.
Say never, huh?
Never say never.
Well, it's a little different for me. I tried it once in high school, and it was not a successful thing for me. Not saying that I don't find Caucasian women attractive, because I find other women attractive. So I don't want to just bring this conversation between black and white. We have
Right.
a melting pot here in the United States. Well, across the world, you got Brazilian, you got different Chinese, Orientals, and you got an Asian, shall I say? I want to be politically correct. You have such a plethora of variety of people, and I'm attracted to different things about them all. But because to be honest with you, I've never been to a Middle Eastern party. Well, I guess you would consider it Indians, like from India, like real Indians. Well, sort of funny being in America calling somebody an Indian, knowing that the history of America, but you know what I mean. Indians, they're from India. And I'm going to be honest, I saw some of the baddest women I had ever seen in my life at that event. I'm like, yo, no wonder they walk around and put a veil over them. Don't nobody want them to see how bad their woman is. These some badass women over here. They fine. So, I don't want to X myself out, but I think a lot of times we don't put ourselves in that position to deal and integrate with other races, to really understand other races outside of thinking that it's a different race. What you think about that, Chief?
There
So,
again,
come on
like
in.
I said,
I just heard Chief. Well, Russ, I think, like I said earlier, I think that, you got to go for what you like. You can't be dependent on the color of somebody's skin. You know what I mean? But for me, I have to be honest, my first choice is a brother. A good brother, not just any brother, but a good brother. But I look at the person's character and I look at their spirit. And if those two things check, they are right with me. So that part doesn't matter what color they are. It's about their spirit and their character.
So are you a did you experience any hate from your own culture or from any other outside or from the other culture that you were dating? I don't know what cultures that you dated, but did you experience any racism or hate towards the fact that you were dating outside of your race?
Well, it's funny you should ask that question. I did get particular looks from brothers, but honestly, the most racism that I have experienced hasn't been from other races. It has been from my brothers. I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I feel
Explain.
sad to say that.
Give me an example of what happened.
Well, honestly, when I was younger, I would get treated, respected, honored, all of that good stuff by men that were that weren't black, to be honest. How can I say this? I would be treated by men outside of my race better than some of the brothers back in the day. They were more respectful to me. I had a better time, with them. I didn't get degraded by them. Honestly, in the past, I've gotten degraded by my brothers more than any other race. But that still didn't turn me off. Chief, that's a good question.
Chief, I can barely hear you. If you can get a little closer to your microphone or something, I can't hear you out there. That's much better. That's much better. That's much better, bro. That's much better.
All right.
Okay, so talk to me. Ask that question once again.
I was asking her, why did she think that was, that she got treated better by other people than she did by her own brother?
And, Chief, like I said, that's a good question. I'll give two reasons why I think that is. What's that, post-traumatic slavery disorder? I think that's one reason. And the second reason is that we have been taught, again, it kind of ties into that whole slave mentality thing, is that we are taught to dislike ourselves. We are taught to hate ourselves. We are taught that everything ethnic about ourselves is unattractive. Our culture, our look is unattractive.
Right.
Well, Big Chief, let me ask you a quick question, okay? Because I know
yes, sir.
You're from down south, so it's a different demographic and it's a different. With you being a truck driver and experiencing different places and experiencing different people, what is your outtake on how the South views interracial dating as opposed to other places you've been to?
Well, in days past, it was pretty much taboo. I think we all pretty much know that. But in recent years, man, there has been just an overwhelming number of people who just decided to date interracially. And not only are they dating, they're having children, and some even are even getting married. So it's a new day and age, man, and it just depends. People's ideologies are changing as to what they like, what they want to do with their lives and how they feel people treat them and all those types of things, man. That's pretty much what it's about. People just want someone to treat them right and love them. And, I personally feel that ain't nothing like a sister. But, hey, you never know. Sometimes you just meet people and become friends, and then friends turn into lovers or what have you. And then they start a family. So you just have to deal with it. We've had some interracial dealers in our own family. So, and we accepted them and love them and go on, man. And it's just all family. You know what I'm saying? I think as a whole, black people are a loving race. We're a loving race. Here recently, it don't seem like it with all the murders in Chicago and Memphis, and I'm going to touch on that on my show on Friday. But as a whole, we're loving people. We just, we love to love and love to be loved.
Okay, we got a telephone call coming in. Who is that calling in right quick? And first of all, we want to thank everybody that is calling in. And if you want to call in and get into the conversation, if you have dated outside your race, if you agree or disagree with it, give us a call at 516-418-5637. That's 516-418-5637. Go ahead. Who is that calling in?
We have Jasmine.
That is my very special interviewer for today. Okay. Everybody, this is Miss Jazz, a very, 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 very special person to me. She's like a sister. She is my sister. Real quick question, Jazz. We're going to get right to the nitty-gritty because I know I can go there with you. How tough is it dating your white husband, baby? Was it tough?
What?
Is it tough? Do you deal with stuff
It really wasn't for me. You know what? We've known each other since I was 13. We went to the same high school. We knew all of the same people. And so I can honestly say that he asked me to marry him 5 days after our first date. And we've been together ever since. He asked me to marry him like 5 days after our first date.
Wow.
Yeah.
He kissed the cocoa and got hooked.
No, I always had a thing for him in high school, but we never dated. And, years went by. I'm talking a number of years. He asked me out probably 12 years ago, and I had no idea that he was into me. And I thought we were like high school buddies hanging out, and so I didn't think that he liked me. And so I kind of blew him off. And so I didn't run into him again for another 12 years on Facebook, actually. And I was like, oh, my gosh, I had the biggest crush on this dude. And he finally convinced me to go out with him. And I literally came home from our first date, looked at my mom and said, yeah, I'm going to marry him.
Wow.
And he asked me 5 days later.
So, okay, at what age did you realize that you were interested in dating outside of your race or that you had an attraction to people outside of your own race? Because to know your mother is very, if to know your mother is to know that she is very big on black pride and black, being a black person and being proud of being a black person. So I would consider her to be very Afrocentric. You know what I mean? She's very Afrocentric. So to hear that you're open to dating outside your race, just looking on, from the outside looking in, you would not think that would be your natural thought process. You know what I mean? So
I think that for me, it happened because I'm very loud, very outspoken, and the majority of the brothers I ran into were they thought that I wasn't black enough to hang out with them, primarily because I sound white.
Yeah,
of course, just because I can conjugate a verb, it means that I do not sound like what they're expecting. And once they find out that there's a brain behind it, it turns people off.
A quick question, though, because even though I answered the question and said, yeah, you do, but what the hell is talking white?
You know
what the hell is talking black? You know what I mean? I think we get caught up in that.
And that's, we do. We very much do. And I can tell you true story. I graduated in theater, right? And I actually had an audition for the Goodman. And she finished my audition, and she said, your diction is amazing. You really sold me that piece. But in order to do television or to do theater, you're going to have to mess up your diction because people aren't going to believe it. And unfortunately, that's the culture we live in. We expect black people to sound a certain way. And the converse to that is we accuse white people of misappropriating black culture when they sound like...
Explain that. Go a little deeper.
When you see white people who sound more urban, who sound more black, the automatic assumption is they really are rich with a silver spoon in their mouth, and they just sound that way because it's cool, not realizing that they may have grown up in a black neighborhood. I mean, think about all the white people in Park Forest that sound blacker than me.
That's true.
Or think about my husband. My husband's blacker than I am, or sounds blacker than I am. You know what I mean?
Very true. And to look at your husband, if you met your husband, you would just visually looking at him, you would think, okay, this is your typical, white guy named Bob. You know what I mean? But if you talk to him, like he plays guitar, he plays blues. You know what I mean? And it's very weird because even in the church, because I play with him in the church sometimes, and you could see people like white boy playing with the black people. Yeah, well, guess what? If they know craft, they know craft. That has nothing to do with their color. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So and to sit down with your husband, he does have a very urban background in the way that he talks and the way he engages. He's very urban.
Right, and I mean that's our family joke. Like I finally married a black guy. He just happens to be a white complected black guy, but that's the joke in our family, And I've always, even when I was a kid, like high school, I dated white guys. At one point, I was actually dating the only white guy at Morehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had a long conversation about it, and I'm like, dude, I know I sound white, but how did you end up at Morehouse? And he's like, well, he went to Kenwood, so he was the only white guy on the basketball team, only white guy on the football team, and the joke in the locker room was, hey, man, where are you going to college? And he was like, I'm going to Morehouse, and he got in, and so he went.
And to understand where Kenwood is, it's a very urban school. It's all black school.
Exactly.
So like, and it's in the hood. You know what I mean? So like for him to grow up in that environment, that makes sense. You ended up dating,
So, and I went to high school in Oak Park, very middle class, a lot of people there were very upper class, doctors and lawyers and engineers and, Lemonheads Candy. His son was in my class. So, but I think at the end of the day, you love who you love. And black, white, or other, you figure it out. Yeah, we run into people who say stupid stuff, I've run into people who are like, oh, are those all your children? Yeah. By the same dad? Seriously? You assume that just because I'm black, I got to have five baby daddies? Are you kidding me right now?
I got a quick question. Okay, let's say, I'm going to hold that question off. I think we got a caller coming in. Who's calling in? So who we got?
We have Brother Prophet on the line.
Oh, that's my G. What's up, Prophet? What's going on, Doc?
What's going on? You already know I'm about to lay it down right quick for the real ones.
Okay. So tell me what you're thinking tonight about tonight's topic. Would you date outside of your race, Prophet?
Well, I was listening to your conversation, buddy, and I want to let you know that, I decided that, I did not date outside of my race, brother. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that being because I've seen behind the curtain, I've seen behind the veil, and I know that there's a war, a silent weapon and a quiet war against the black community. And with that silent weapon and that quiet war being waged against the black community, we are dying at a rapid pace. We are being locked up at a rapid pace. And at this rapid pace, we are being locked up and we are dying that we can't afford to date outside our race. We can't afford the luxury of interracial dating because our race is being annihilated by the numbers.
Okay, so would you say that, let me see if I can figure out.
And the reason why all this exists in the first place
And the reason I wanted to reiterate, my bad. And the reason why all this exists in the first place, the reason why this topic exists in the first place is because of white supremacy. Black people have never made race an issue because all races come from the black race. I heard the brother saying that we're a loving race. Of course we're a loving race. We're the infinite love personified, manifested in the flesh. So we have never brought racism to the world. So therefore, we should not, racism should not be our problem. All right? But since it is our problem, let's address the problem. And how do you address a problem? You give solutions to problems. All right, well, if it's up to you to date outside the race, that's up to you. Okay, I don't hate you. I don't look at you any different. But I will say this, that the reason why that dating outside of your race is an issue isn't anyway because of white supremacy. Because some white people decided that race was an issue.
I got a question for you, and then I want our interviewer, I want Ms. Jazz to respond to that. My question to you is this: so would you say that you would say that you would not date outside the race for more of a black preservation, self-preservation as a race? Or is
two reasons.
And I want you to get to make it, and I want to go get in and respond to that.
Yeah. Well, one is for racial preservation, but for two. Because I guarantee you, ain't nobody on the Chinese radio talking about what they did to a black person. Ain't nobody on the white radio talking about what they did to a black person. Ain't nobody on the Mexican radio talking about what they did to a black person. But our black ass is sitting here debating on what shit we did outside our race. See, this is how far the self-hate has gone, that we hate ourselves so much that we'll go to outside our race first before we look at our own. We hate ourselves so much that we'll demonize our own race because they talk proper or a certain way. All right, yes, talking white, but so what? She talks white. All right, reason why I call white because it's English, and English are white people, Europeans. So yes, it's talking white. All right, so we know one thing: this is not your language that you're talking. So of course you got to be talking white because white people invented English, and this is a white language. So yes, it's called talking white when you speak proper vernacular, when you speak proper terms of endearment in English. All right, but that doesn't mean just because somebody talks white, because we're living in a white world. Of course, everything we do is white. Our pants are white. The way we celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all our holidays are white. Everything we do is Europeanized. So you can't say, oh, we do this black, or we do this black, and we do this white, and we do this white. We're living in a white man's world. But we can say that just because this person talks a certain way, I'm not labeled, judging, criticizing, or condemning them. Just because this person decided to date outside of their race, I won't label, judge, criticize, or condemn them. Just because Prophet says he doesn't date outside race doesn't mean Prophet should be hated, and just because the sister who's married to the white guy, she shouldn't be hated. Why? Because in the world we live in, we have free will. This is a free will zone, and we should be able to exercise the free will. The problem is white supremacy is not allowing us to exercise our free will. Therefore, we have a topic called "Should We Date Outside Our Race?"
Okay, let me hear Jazz. Come on in, Jazz. Respond to that.
I think that in a lot of ways there is some truth in what you said. I think that there is a lot of self-hate, but self-hate isn't why I date my husband and why I fell for my husband. I fell for my husband because he got me. But I think that, we do have to acknowledge who we are. I mean, I'm not a black chick with dyed blonde hair and weave either because I'm trying to be white. I'm trying to be the best person I can be, and I happen to have locks because I acknowledge that I have African hair, and it looks good like that. I'm also a black chick with a nose ring because that is also culturally specific and is a sign of my identity and acknowledging full well who I am, I went to college on a George Washington Carver scholarship that is given to African American people who have demonstrated academic success. So I don't think that me personally, I have, manifested my self-hatred in marrying a white guy. And I respect very much what you're saying. I do feel that there is a lot of people who condemn me because they're like, what, you couldn't find a brother good enough for you? That wasn't the case at all, But I also would say that I chose not to join a black sorority because there's a lot of hatred that's going on in there. I mean, in a lot of ways, black sororities spent their time dividing themselves on color lines. AKs are light. Deltas are in the middle. And if you're dark-skinned, what is the other one, the blue and white one?
Zeta.
Right, exactly. And I didn't want to be caught up in that. You know, I didn't want to be that person that had to fit into the mold of what people expect. You know, my children know full well. Go ahead.
Hold on, we got a phone call coming in. We got calling, and I want to thank everybody that's calling in tonight. If you want to call in and get in on this conversation, please dial 516-418-5637. That's 516-418-5637. If you're on Facebook, if you have a Twitter, please ask somebody, share this information. I think this is a great topic tonight. I appreciate Prophet calling in. Topic. I think this is something that needs to be discussed. If you know anything about how my method is a little weird sometimes, and sometimes I'm a little more aggressive than others. But this is one of those situations that I really would like to hear more from the people, as opposed to me pressing the issue. Who we got calling in right quick? So, Kitten, who we got calling?
We have Big K on the line, Rush.
Big K, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yo, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Great.
Hey,
thanks for calling in tonight.
But, I mean, good topic, man. I mean, this is a topic that I feel like, people have definitely brought opinions about, And, I want to thank the dude that talked, and I want to thank Jasmine as well, because I know both points of the different worlds. I know people that, dated white man, white woman, and they was in love. I mean, I can see, it wasn't because of the fetishizing or, she did this, I want her because she's better than the black woman, all that stuff. I heard that too. So I just feel like, in my opinion, I never really been with a white woman. I mean, I find every woman attractive, but most I've been with black women. That's all I've been with. That's all I've been around with. So I just know that, But I'm not going to be mad or look crazy if I see a black woman or a white man look like her, like, what's wrong with you? Because I don't know what her life's about. I don't know what she been through. And the white man she probably just fell in love with him. Maybe not because he's white. Maybe he was good to her. Who knows? Okay. I don't know, you don't know other people's story. You just can't,
I want to ask a quick question. How many people online are familiar with what Muhammad Ali's early beliefs were on interracial dating? Does anybody know?
No, I never know.
Okay, well, good. I'm about to play a clip right now, and this is coming from the greatest, Mr. Rope-a-Dope himself. Mr. That, before there was a Floyd Mayweather, before there was a Mike Tyson, we had Muhammad Ali. And what's very interesting about this, how it relates in this conversation, is because at one point he was known as Cassius Clay. That was his government name. That's the name that his mother had given him. And as he developed a spiritual relationship with Islam, he became Muhammad Ali. And his views were very radical. And one of his views was about interracial marriages and couples. And this is coming from the great Muhammad Ali. Let's go.
Oh, wow. I got to hear
that. People to move in the neighborhoods, the female neighborhoods. And another thing, when you say integration, it comes under intermarriage too, right? All been together.
Right, sure.
And I'm sure no intelligent white person watching this show, or no intelligent white man in his or her right white mind, want black boys and black girls marrying their white sons and daughters, and in return introducing their grandchildren as half-brown, kinky-haired black people.
I wouldn't object to that.
Well, you wouldn't, but a lot of them would.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people would. No, it's just the point.
What I'm trying to say is this. You don't have it. You say you don't, but you don't have it. You really ain't going to have it. You're on the show, and you got to say that. But
that's not true.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I don't think I'm any different from you see.
Yeah, we're much different.
I mean, I think society's made us different.
You know we're different. We're all together.
But society's made us different.
No, not society. God made us different.
No, we're just human beings. He made all of us.
We all listen. Bluebirds fly with bluebirds. Red birds want to be with red birds. Listen. Tell me when I'm wrong. Pigeons want to be with pigeons.
But
tell me when I'm wrong. We should have. They don't have intelligence, but yet they stay together. We should have more intelligence than them, right? Buzzards are with buzzards. Buzzards are with buzzards. Bluebirds are with bluebirds. They all are birds. But they got different cultures. The eagles like to hang out in the mountains. The buzzard like to fly around the desert.
Well,
the bluebird like to fly around the trees and the
There'd be certain
grass.
problems, a buzzard mating with a sparrow, wouldn't there?
What?
There'd be certain...
Right. And
I
we
mean,
have the problems too.
No,
I don't see no black and white couples in England or America walking around proud holding their children.
That's because society...
And going out.
That's society's fault. I mean, we've got to educate people around it.
Well, life is too short for me to be raised catching hell for something like that. I'd rather go and be my own. I have a beautiful daughter, beautiful wife. They look like me. We're all happy, and I don't have no trouble. I have no trouble. I ain't that much in love with no woman to go through all that hell. Ain't no one woman that good. You understand?
I understand, yeah. I do understand. I understand. I think it's sad.
It ain't sad because I want my child to look like me. Every intelligent person wants his child to look like him. I'm sad because I want to blot out my race and lose my beautiful identity. Chinese love Chinese. They love the little slanted-eyed, pretty brown-skinned babies. Pakistanis love their culture. Jewish people love their culture. A lot of Catholics don't want to marry a number of Catholics. They want the religion to stay the same. Who want to spot up yourself and kill your race? You a hater of your people if you don't want to stay who you are. You shame what God made you. God didn't make no mistake when He made us all like we were.
I think that's a philosophy of despair.
Despair.
I really do.
It ain't no despair.
Number
one, can't no woman. Let me tell you something. No, I want to tell you. Listen, no woman on this whole earth, not even a black woman in Muslim countries, can please me and cook for me and socialize and talk to me like my American black woman. No woman, and last is a white woman, can really identify with me and my feelings and the way I act and the way I talk. And you can't take no Chinese man and give him no Puerto Rican woman and holler about we're in love and you emotionally in love and physically, but really they're not happy. She's going to hear some Puerto Rican music, he's going to hear some Chinese music, and they're going to be clashing all the time. It's just nature. You can do what you want, but it's nature to want to be with your own. I want to be with my own. I love my people. That's all
I love nature.
Now, what I found interesting about that piece, and I want to bring Chief James into the conversation. If he's still there, Chief, are you still there?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Big K, are you still with me?
Oh yeah, man, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, I wanna do this. I want to do it in this rotation. I want to go Chief James. I want to hear what you think about it. And then I want to have Big K come in and drop his opinion about it. Then we want to move to Soul Kitten Richardson. I want to specifically speak about this particular clip that we just listened to. So I want to go Chief James, Big K, Soul Kitten, Prophet, and then I want to end it with Jasmine. Let's go.
Well, Muhammad Ali is always going to tell it like a T.I. is. I believe personally, man, that he made a lot of great points. But by the same token, I do believe that love has no eyes.
Right.
There's no boundaries. So if you love someone, love them. I mean, there are people, man, that have dated in their race that have not been happy. And for whatever reason, you try to date someone out your race, it has nothing to do with the color of your skin if they treat you.
They don't. Right.
So if like they said, if you like it, I love it. Me personally, I like my sisters. You know what I'm saying? I like my sisters, and I think that the original woman is a beautiful thing, and it just can't be compared to. That's just my personal opinion. Not putting nobody down, not saying I wouldn't do it, ever do it, or whatever. But that's just my preference. I just look at the black woman and I think she's just gorgeous and she's just magnificent.
Yes,
so
Lord.
That's my personal take on it.
Come on, Big K. Let me hear what you got to say about that.
I mean, I kind of agree with him. Like everything you said. Like I feel the same way. I mean, I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna do it, or I'm not gonna tell anybody like you shouldn't do it. Like go ahead, like you said, let it have no color at the end of the day. As long as they treat you right, I mean that's all that matters. But with him saying, hey man, somebody black sister, man, she always held me down no matter what I go through, whatever I've been through. She always been there, and I've been there for her too as well. It go both ways. And it's just something about chemistry with a black woman that I just can relate more, well, maybe a white woman, I probably can't relate, So, and maybe in the future, I would love to have, no offense, I would love to have black babies. I want a black me. I want a me. I want to love a girl or a boy. It don't matter. So I kind of agree with, Mr. Muhammad Ali as well with that point, but I agree with, James as well. So I'm just like, look, you love who you love, but me, I got to, hey, man, black woman, I can't help that. I can't resist. So that's how I feel about it.
Let me hit the Soul Kid.
Okay,
Matter of fact, Soul Kid, we've went 40 minutes today, and I have not got my kitten call. Let's go ahead. 1, 2, and 3. Let's see if we got it better from Saturday. Thank you. You see, we get the kitten call right on. Saturday we had technical difficulties. I thought I was gonna have to choke the hell out you. Okay, come on. Let me talk to me about Muhammad Ali's clip there.
Okay, now see, I agree with Muhammad Ali. It was one thing that stood out to me that he said, and that's about nobody can understand me like when he said American black woman. And that's the thing that I wanted to kind of shift the conversation to how we've been socialized. Things that we kind of relate to one another with. Just like our special guest on the line with us tonight, which is Jasmine. She relates to her husband, who happens to be of a different race. But that's because they connect. They speak the same language. But I want to put this word out there in the atmosphere, and that is synergy. And I believe that's what Muhammad Ali was talking about.
Yeah, I like synergy.
Okay.
Can I interject? I want to ask you a question. So in particular, because we started this conversation, and you were very from what you just spoke right now. It's a little bit different from what I did at the beginning of the show, because at the beginning of the show it was like, black men don't talk to me. White men treat me better, and when I'm with them, they don't degrade me like black men treat me. So now it's sort of a different. But no, I'm just saying it's a different. Let's get my point out. It's a connotation because, like right now, to a listener, I'm a listener as well. I'm the host of the show, but I'm a listening as well. So that was a little conflict to me to hear originally when we first asked the conversation about would you date outside your race or would you? Like, yeah, I would. I think it's if you find peace and love.
No, you
now
said
it's like, I? Okay, go ahead. Make a clarification. Maybe I did not hear it. Maybe some other listeners out there just like me that it might be some listeners out there like myself that might get a little twisted about what you just said. So come on, make a little clarification.
Well, let me break it down so it can forever be broken down, Russ. Because in the beginning of the show, you said, have I ever? And I have. I was speaking on past experiences. Yes, I have dated outside of my race, and you asked me about that experience. Now, in the past, and I want to make that clear, in the past, I have been treated better by men outside of my race. They treat me with more respect and dignity. I experienced racism, the first signs of racism, not from someone outside of my race. I'm sad to say I did say that. But my own race, my own brothers, and that hurt me. But above all else, I still chose my brothers first. Now that I am mature and we're in the present, let me make that clear. Okay, I still don't have a problem with interracial dating. I don't. I have it all through my family. I grew up seeing that. I went to a predominantly white school growing up. Okay, so I've seen both sides. But where I agree with Brother Muhammad Ali is that it's the synergy. And for me, yes, nobody can understand me like my brother. When I say my brother, I mean a true conscious brother. Let me make that clear. And it's broken down. All right.
Okay, that makes sense. Prophet, let me go ahead and move around to you now. Let me hear what you got to say. I'm pretty much feeling where you're going already, but go ahead, Prophet.
Like I said before, I really wanted to address what the sister said before. I wanted to clarify that I wasn't demonizing or downing or degrading anybody, saying that she's had self-hatred. That's why she picked her husband. I was saying that we as people should be satisfied with ourselves as people, so that when another person makes a choice to date outside their race, we don't feel a certain type of way about it, so there won't even be a show like this. I'm saying that in white supremacy, that due to white supremacy existing, there are topics to this topic is it should be broached. But I'm trying to say that all that exists because of white supremacy. If you take away white supremacy from the equation, you take away racism from the equation. You take away racism from the equation, you take away interracial dating because we all are black. Black is not a color, it is the source of color. Everybody's black, everybody comes from black. You test every white person, they got a little bit of African in them. Why? Because all races come from the black race. We must get back to black. Black is not a color, black is the source of color. So no matter who you love, you still loving black. You feel me? But since white supremacy has created this divide and to say that this is a race, that is a race, this is a race, and that is a race, now we have literally created this in our psyches and we abide by this in our cultures and it shows in our societies. All right, but my personal opinion is I've dated outside of my race, white, black, Hispanic, and Asian. I had all four colors. And my favorite, and all of them, and for me dating them, all of them trying to imitate my woman, which is a black woman. All of them trying to imitate my woman. All of them want their ass big as my woman. All of them want their hips big as my woman. All of them want their lips big as my woman. And all of them want 10. So I'm just going to stick with the original.
He's not lying. He's not lying, though. He's not lying, though. He ain't lying about that.
No, my husband loves my ass. I admit it.
Come on, Jazz.
I heard
Bring
you,
it on.
Jasmine.
And we are talking in relation. Hold on, real quick. I see that we have some more callers that have been calling in. We want to thank everybody that's trying to get in right now on the line. Call in to 516-418-5637. That's 516-418-5637 and press 1 if you would like to get into this conversation. Jazz, come on, bring it in because y'all know I got about 7 more clips. We might not even make it through this whole clip. We might have to extend this conversation to a 2-week conversation, honestly. Because I think in the United States there is such a underlying hatred, period.
Yeah.
Within races and for other races.
It is.
That I want to use this platform, and we just want to start off about, the basics about dating and having, first of all, let's talk about the person that you're sleeping with. First of all, that starts with me. So, Jazz, let's go ahead and hear what you got to say in relation to that Muhammad Ali clip.
I think that one was a hard one for me because for me personally, you've seen my oldest son. My oldest son looks exactly like me and my dad.
Exactly.
My middle son looks like the most Italian kid you've ever seen. He does. My middle son looks exactly like his father. But at the same time, that's going to happen in any family. You're going to have one kid that looks like the dad, one kid that looks like grandma. And in black families especially, you're going to get one recessive gene kid that comes out light with freckles. And you're like, where did we get you from? Yep. Like, who did that? But at the end of the day, right. And so I think at the end of the day, it is a topic that needs to continually be discussed. And I'm not going to say that I picked the easiest road to hoe, by any means. And I will admit, first off, that I married into a predominantly Italian family. And so I went to my mother-in-law and I said, I've heard that this could be an issue. Is this an issue for you? Before I go any further. And you know what my mother-in-law said to me? Honey, you are dating the United Nations. My husband's brother is from Nicaragua. His first cousin is Italian, Polish, and Mexican, married to a Jamaican.
Wow.
So I fit right in.
We need to
like
do a
all
whole
of the boys.
show with Jim's family.
Yeah, about families. Yeah,
yeah.
That's a good topic.
Opposites attract. That's the law of attraction. Opposites attract.
Yeah.
Okay,
now
I have a quick question.
In my family,
I got a quick question. Hold on, because now we tipped it into something, and I don't want to get off of that right quick. Now we have the children. What happens to the child raised by
I want to know
black?
about that too. Yeah.
And because, I'm listening to this conversation, and it's a very good conversation, but also at some point we are talking about children. And the children have nothing to do with who laid down with each other.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
the society we living in has bred the environment so that interracial children have to pick a side now. And now you put the child in a compromising position. Do I choose the white side of my family or do I choose the black side?
Black side,
How do they identify? How can they identify as a human being when they're torn between two races?
Yeah, and that's a really
I
good.
think that. Listen,
Hold on one
I
second.
do have
We got a
children,
phone-
and
hold on,
I
we
got to
got a
get them in
phone- hold on.
bed.
Okay, we got a phone call coming in. We thank and appreciate you for calling in. If you got to go, I really do
I
appreciate
do
you.
have to
Let
go
us
and
get
get those
on.
babies down for bed, but thanks for the chit-chat, guys. I really appreciate
Thank
the
you so
intellectual
much.
stimulation.
Oh,
Have a
love
good one.
it, love it.
Jasmine.
Appreciate you. Appreciate
Bye.
you. Let you have me back on the show.
Hi, Jasmine.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, baby. All right, who we got calling in?
Oh, we have Chicka. We got DJ Flip calling in.
What's up, Flip? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, my brother? How you doing? Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, my brother. How you been feeling, man?
Oh, man, doing pretty good.
How you feeling about this conversation that we're talking about tonight? We're talking about interracial relationships and interracial dating.
Oh, man. Well, really can't do too much comment on it because I never really dated outside of my race.
You can still comment, man.
I mean, the thing is, people don't understand, and the thing of it is, it's just we have this stigma nowadays that the professional black man or the black man that has the most money got to have somebody light skin on his arm.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's all what society
White
puts
supremacy.
in your face. Yeah, it's white. Of course, it's white supremacy, but it's all what society puts in your face. If they keep on putting that in your face and then sending you these subliminal messages about
You'd be
your
like,
race,
about that too.
all about your race and that your race is no good and that you need that we're just a race of bad people, which is
That's
not.
what Sister Soul Kid was talking about, the post-traumatic slave disorder. We suffer from a psychological, traumatic, emotional, spiritual disorder, and it's not going to leave overnight. We've only been free from slavery not even 100 years, and they expect us to just be well overnight. No, just like any relationship, when you get in a bad relationship, you got to split away from that person in order to heal.
Yep.
We haven't even split away in order to heal. We haven't even healed ourselves and split away from our terrorists because they have been terrorizing us for 400, going on 500 years. We haven't even separated from them enough to even know if we want what we want. To even know what we want.
But the real reason why we haven't stepped away from what we know that we want is because of the Willie Lynch syndrome. It's been embedded in us. It's been embedded in us in those 400 years of slavery. That Willie Lynch syndrome has been embedded in us, and it is living to this day. Because if we could bring ourselves together as a black people, why we could bring ourselves together as a black people and make a difference? Why somebody else is a black person got to tell another white person about what we do? I mean, it doesn't make sense. That's that Willie Lynch syndrome. You always got that house nigga that's gonna go back and tell the white man what's going on and infiltrate and just to think that they doing good. But that's what we're dealing with. And until we get rid of that, then hey,
Well, the easiest way to get rid of that is starting with self-love, love self, and love. And look, we got to take this mentality. You're black, you're in with me, no matter what. Because guess what? The white people cover up for their child molesters. The Chinese people cover up for their rapists. The Mexicans cover up for their murderers. But we want to throw our people to the dogs every time the minute we make a mistake. But they protect you. They cover their racist faults. They cover their racist faults, but we expose our racist faults, and we take our racist faults and accentuate them and piggyback off them like that's the thing to do. When we're supposed to be covering our racist faults as well and loving one another as well because we've been through the most.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? Also, it has a lot to do with propaganda. It's the way the media portrays black people as a whole. You know what I'm saying? We're villainized. And like Hillary said, we're super predators, all this type of thing. And, in the media, you get young black kids to do something. Oh, they're bad. They're this, they're that. And then they put their picture on TV. Let some young white boys go out and do something. It's like the white boys up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee that burnt the whole town down. They never put their picture on TV. Oh, they were just some kids. They were just kids, and they did this and they did that. You know what I'm saying? And it's bigger than you or I because, you know what I'm saying, we know wrong is wrong, whatever. If you do wrong, you need to be punished. Period. But
Right.
they make it. They press separatism. They press the issue of separatism, and so you know what I'm saying. Our kids, our villains and stuff. There's just as much. There's just as much crime that goes on in Williamstown, West Virginia, as it is in Memphis, Tennessee, or Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah,
I travel a lot, so I was in Williamstown one time, man, watching the news, and I just could not believe all the crime. I turned around, I thought I was in Memphis looking at TV. Man, all the criminals, all the crime that was being committed, but you never hear about that kind of stuff. They got a Just Busted magazine too, bro, and it's packed.
Right. And can I reiterate, state for the record? Can I reiterate and state for the record that if you are going to be outside the race, don't let it be no black man dating outside the race. We already got a shortage of black men. For every one man, 4 women are born. So we know one thing for certain, 2 things for sure. Women outnumber men on the face of the planet. So it's safe to say that black women black women outnumber black men on the face of the planet. And then with this war against our black men, we're definitely dwindling in numbers. So if you're a black man, leave them white girls alone. Like Soldier Slim said, I'm sick of seeing sellout niggas married to these white girls. Knowing they're the enemy, knowing they could be no friend of me, I just get my dick sucked and let them out instantly because they freaks. So we know one thing for certain and 2 things for sure. They're naturally prone to freaky desire. They are fuck a dirty dog. Go look at ZooTube. They'll fuck an animal. They'll fuck a creature. They don't give a fuck what they do. They eat babies. They drink blood. They're not 100%. And if you go look on the internet, they're not 100% full human. They've got the Neanderthal gene in them. Go look it up on YouTube. Africans are the only 100% humans. Go look.
Hold on.
Only 100% humans.
Hold on, I want to keep it to tonight's topic to interracial date, okay? Because that's a great point. But I want to keep tonight on interracial date.
I read off.
Brother Prophet.
I want to ask.
It's all right.
I want to ask.
Hold on, because I got to get ready to pay some bills. Hold on, people, real quick. I want to give a mad shout out to my girl, Miss Iris Patterson, newest edition. She will be actually having her own show coming on Thursday nights called Hair Talk. So I love her story because she's the person that actually lost her own hair, and she did her own research and created her own product. So, real quick, we're going to play a quick commercial from our girl, Miss Iris Patterson, with Iris Botanicals.
Okay. Ladies, is your hair dry and brittle? Do you have thinning around your edges? Has weave damaged your hair? Or have you experienced hair loss due to a medical condition or medication? Fellas, would you like to have a fuller and richer beard? Well, we have the perfect solution for you. Nourish your hair with Iris Botanicals all-natural hair care essentials. Our restorative hair care system is infused with powerful essential oils to help stimulate hair growth. Go to www.irisbotanicals.com. That's www.irisbotanicals.com and order your restorative care system bundle, which includes the Aloe Coconut Clarifying Shampoo, honey and olive oil conditioner, and rejuvenating hair butter, all for the low price of only $49.99 plus shipping. You can also find us at www.thecuttingedgenetwork.com/Iris-Patterson. That's www.thecuttingedgenetwork.com/Iris-Patterson. Iris Botanicals, essentials made by nature.
And yo, now you entered the cutting edge. And yo, now you entered the cutting edge. And yo, now you entered the cutting edge. And yo, now you entered the cutting edge.
You're now listening to The Final Cut with your host, Rush Danja, on Rush Radio.
Hey, yo, what's up? This is your boy Rush Danger. You are listening to The Final Cut. I want to thank everybody that called in tonight that's still online with us right now. If you're listening right now, you want to get into this conversation, please call 516-418-5637, 516-418-5637. and hit button 1 and let us know if you dated outside of your race. What you think about this conversation? Let us know what's going on in your mind about this
Good
conversation.
Good topic.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Is that Big K? Was that Big K?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hey, Big
big
K,
man.
I want to give
wonderful topic.
I want to give a mad shout out to my man Big K. Big K, you have been, if this is who I think it is, Big K, you've been following us. You support us. I see you out there. You reshare our posts. I really appreciate you, brother. It's people like you that really, inspire me to continue to do this and do this on a much better basis than I do from the last show every week. But I got another clip, man. You ready for it, Big K?
Yeah, man. I think we are ready for it.
I don't know, man. Some of this stuff, I try to play with y'all a little bit. I try to dig a little deep. We started off a little lighthearted, but now we're gonna get a little bit more serious. Because
Here we go.
we have, and I see we got some more callers coming in. That's wonderful, beautiful. We're gonna get to you in 1 second. But check this out. We heard the perspective of a black lady that has dated outside of the race. Now we're going to hear the perspective of the black man that has dated
This I got to hear.
the white home.
Me too. I got to
go.
hear this.
Let's
I
go.
got to hear this.
Y'all better be prepared because it's going to get deep and funny.
To the fathers of too many of the women that I've dated. The day I meet you, I always straighten my tie. I use the biggest words I know. I break out the good shoes so you can see them before you see past them. I always go in for the handshake. See, I've been practicing my good, strong grip. I go in for the shake, look you in the eye like a man I always see it. That surprised face, that face that says, oh, shit, my daughter did not bring home a black guy. Yup, that's me. I am your daughter's first black boyfriend. Surprise! I bet you didn't see that one coming. Yes, indeed, your daughter is, in fact, down with the brown. I'm sorry. I guess this means you must have failed as a parent. Or maybe it's just a phase. Let's hope it's just a phase still. I know you tried to nip this in the bud when you were young. See, you caught her watching Tyler Perry one time, and you slapped her across the mouth. She said, but Dad, I was only flipping through the channels, to which you replied, Becky, you better take your ass in your room and go watch an episode of Full House starring Bob Saget. Bob Saget. Yes, still. Those 30 seconds of Medea's family reunion must have burned a hole into her heart, because now I'm here, your worst nightmare. You know how it goes. Once you go black, you never go back. Say it with me, y'all. Once you go black, you never go back, and it's permanent. That's right. It's real. It's real like she's going to look at Ryan Gosling and think, I wish he was darker, yo. I wish he was darker. It's real. It's real like you can Google that shit on WebMD. It's real. It's real like if my penis was in Congress, they'd call it the majority whip. And speaking of Congress, did you know that the first American law against interracial marriage was made in 1691? Interracial marriage was not made legal in the United States until 1967. America is often lauded as being the great melting pot for the way it brings together different races, different cultures, different differences. Do not call this country a melting pot when nothing has melted. Do not call this country a melting pot. Forget how long it was illegal to mix. You might never live a day in the life of this skin, and I won't ever yours, but shared experience has value regardless. One girl taught me how to swing dance. I taught her how to Dougie. One girl taught me about soul food from Korea. I taught her about soul food from my kitchen. So to all the fathers like you, this is simply what it looks like when your children do better than you did. Wake up.
Dang.
If I am your worst nightmare, you need to figure out what the fuck is wrong with your dreams.
Oh, wow.
What y'all got to say about that? Oh, man, we got a phone call. We got another phone call, y'all.
Got a phone call on
Yo, we
that.
got call in. I appreciate all these calls.
Miss Rosetta calling in, Rush.
Miss
Yeah, he
Rosetta.
knows who I am.
What's up, Miss Rosetta? What's going on, baby girl?
I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay.
Shut down for the night.
Now tell me what you think about this interracial dating conversation. Talk to me.
Yeah.
I dated out of my race twice. So
What did you think about it?
it just
What
it
is
just
your race?
happened. My race?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm black with
You scared to say you was black.
Indian.
Wait a minute. She said you gotta let that finish. She said black with so she had smoke in
Indian.
there.
No, you're black.
Let her finish.
All that's black. Indian,
Let
black,
her
black. All that
respect what she calls herself. Don't come in and come out and call her black. No, she's black and Indian.
She's a Negro. She's a Negro.
Y'all know, y'all, we grew up now. Let's be real. I ain't cracked no jokes all day, but y'all know we grew up for a long time with that I'm black and Indian. That's my Indian in me.
Oh my God.
Y'all know black folks love that.
Every black person got to let Indian in them.
Come on now.
Every black person.
Come on, Rosetta. Tell me what you're thinking, baby. Tell me what you feel about it.
I guess it's whatever. I did it. I've done it twice, and it just happened. So it's regular to me.
Was it a good thing? Was it a
good thing or
was
the experience
it was
good
a
for you?
thing. Well,
Okay.
I dated both for not at the same time, but each one I dated for like a year. No.
Okay.
I dated each one different times for like a year.
Can I ask you a question,
so,
sister? Just for entertainment. Who's bigger, the black ones or the white ones? I just wanted to know.
Lord. Prophet.
I figured somebody gonna say that question.
Who's bigger? I want to destroy the myth that
Destroy
I gotta
that myth.
find
Now
out.
destroy it.
I see a lot of it out here on the road.
Oh man.
Oh, so I know what you do because I'm not gonna front act like I don't know what you do. Chief James, you might even run into a crossover. Y'all might even have to get each other's call letters because Miss Rosetta is a truck driver, y'all. So she hit
I just passed through Albuquerque just a little bit ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All these truck drivers.
I'm looking around.
Bus driver.
So I want all my
No,
truck
my
drivers out
terminal is in Chicago.
So if you a truck driver, I want to get me a whole conglomerate of just truck drivers that listen to our show. So do you think between the two of y'all can organize that and start putting it on the airwaves out there that we need to start having tune in at this time every night to listen to the Cutting Edge Network? Is that something possible that we can do?
I think it's very possible, Russ. We need to put that on now.
Have us a whole Cutting Edge Trucker Union. Take over the airwaves. Man.
Listen to the radio.
Oh man.
So Miss Truck Driver, you never answered my question.
I said black guy.
Oh, you said black guys? Oh.
Okay.
Hey, Prophet.
Hey, that kills it right there, see.
Let it be known. Let it be known. Let it be known.
Let it be known, brothers.
So ladies, if y'all think about digging them, dating them white boys, just remember.
It happened, but it wasn't perfect. It wasn't.
That baby leg.
Hey, Prophet. Hey, Prophet. Hey, do you know what we're gonna do? He was on the air. Prophet was on the air with Saturday. So what we're going to do, we're going to start calling it when there's somebody beat around the bush like that, because what he did was go back for the answer. He pulled the soul.
I know he did.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. That's why they kind of hate the black man because of his,
Because of that.
Yeah.
That's called penis envy.
It's a penis envy.
That's a real psychological white people suffer from called penis envy, where they envy the size of other men's penis, black men in particular.
Yes.
You know what? No, because honestly, well, he probably right. I heard about that too. Like, it's I heard about that. I heard
he hating. Yeah. He hating on. He hating on the brother.
Because the white woman is looking at the black man, not the white man at the same time. You can tell.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's important for him to have monetary means of doing what he do. Then he can shower her with jewels and gifts, and forget all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, and that of course that will come secondary because the primary will be, baby, I'm gonna put you down. You know what I'm saying?
Hey y'all, guess who just stuck up in here, y'all? Guess who had the nerve to sneak their little hair product making ass up into the show? Just snuck her little botanical booty all up into the show. What's going on, Iris? She done came into the studio. What's going on, Iris? What you thinking about this?
All right now.
We just listened to that commercial just about 5 minutes ago. That must have been
sister. We gotta get your story on how you lost your hair and gained that back product. I gotta find out that story.
I'm gonna have to get your product for my sister.
Well, the whole $49.99. $49 network right now.
$49.99. We network right now. I might have to get that in my life for 2017. All right.
Hey man, listen. On the real, I'm waiting on her to give me my product because I'm doing a 30-day challenge on my beards, fellas.
Oh, totally.
So I think that we should all do this together. Like all my brothers that got this beard game, we need to test this out and see what it do for 30 days. See if we get full.
Yes.
And then we can try to find a couple brothers that's balling. If it works on them too, let's go.
We'll get the kid. We'll get the kid, man. We'll get the kid.
Now let me ask my girl something, Iris. Do you like Italian sausage or do you just like beef black sausage? Which one do you like?
You know what? And I'm gonna be real honest, man. I love my chocolate man. I love my chocolate man. I do, cause I dated a white guy. And it's like night and day. It's like night and day. It really is.
It is night
I was
and day.
disappointed.
It is night and day. Not like
I was disappointed. He's literally.
Oh yeah, it is. It is night and day. Literally.
I mean, why disappointed you? I mean, why? Yeah, I mean, why you wasn't satisfied? Like, what do you?
Robotic.
What do you think?
I'm telling you,
non-spiritual, it's
the
mechanical.
black man,
They're very mechanical.
That myth? Even that myth?
That myth is real. It's much bigger. Much
yes,
bigger.
It is.
You know what? But it was so funny because when I dated him, he liked to flaunt me around to all his white friends. He used to take me around to the prejudice parts and everything.
Look at my prize. Look at my prize. I got my
prize.
My prize.
Yeah.
They fantasize a lot of.
That's what they did in slavery. They used to take you around and parade you around like a horse.
So
yeah,
and
then
words,
I brought him to my black church, and everybody stared at him.
You was his
Oh my
nigga.
God! How was that? How was that? How was the church? How was that?
So is that what it was? What, were you his nigga boo? Is that how you felt? Like okay?
No.
You was the nigga boo. Not the nigga boo, the nigga boo.
Not that word. Oh no, not the nigga boo. No,
I'm asking like, is that what you felt?
That is nigga boo.
Time out.
I wonder if I
No, but what happened at the church though? What happened at the church?
Hold on. I want to find out about this. Did she feel that way? Because she said he took her around like all the racist parts of town into the show.
He did.
So was he like, this is like my little chocolate nigga, or was it something that he looked at her like, this is somebody that I have a vested interest in, I love her, or did he like use her as a showpiece? As like, this is my little nigga boo. Because let's think about
showpiece, nigga boo.
Because if it was the other way around,
showpiece to me.
Stop, because I want to bring it to some real reality stuff. I know a lot of black brothers that if they get them a white woman, they like, yo, look at my little white bunny. You feel what I'm saying? Look at my little white piece. You feel what I'm saying? Look at my little. You feel what I'm saying? I got a little white chick. And especially if we're one of the brothers that look at it like I got a little dumb white chick on the side. You feel what I'm saying? So we do that. So I'm asking, did she feel like I use some real strong language, but this is the cut. This is the final cut. Did you feel like another?
Right. You know what? And I wanted to know that. He found it to be funny because he knew that they didn't approve. And so,
Yeah, and so it was like a revenge thing. It really wasn't. He wanted to date you just to despite his parents, and he wanted to take you around everybody just to show you, say, look, I can get a black girl too.
And I want to ask Rosetta, how did you feel? Did you feel like you were in that he valued you as a woman, or were you just his black girlfriend?
Right. I want to know that too. I want to know that too.
I think I was too.
Man, at least you honest, baby.
I think I was.
At least you honest.
I got the stares from people when I went out. And I got called a piece of trash by his dad's girlfriend. And so.
Well, we talking about the inner workings. When you date white folks, you get to see the inner workings up close of the white mind. So that's why I don't approve. Because I've dated white women like heavy when I was younger, because that's what always attracted to me at one point in time. Like white women used to see the God divinity in me before the black woman, and they used to worship me as God, like worship the ground I walk on. And dating those white women, I got to see the inner workings of the men's mind, the inner workings of the females' mind. And I know that all of them, even the ones that like us a lot, still has an underlying racist thought, or underlying racist feeling about it.
No, you're right. You're right. That's true. You're right. Yep.
And you know what's crazy?
It's been etched in them. It's not it's been etched in them. It's always been etched in.
Yeah, Prophet, you know what?
They just want to get close and see. That's their problem. They just want to get close and see.
See, I got a problem. I got an issue. I got a friend who, her dad was black. Her dad was black and her mom was white. Now this is like a self what you call it, identity crisis. With her. Yeah. And I remember one time
that's a good topic too.
A long time ago, we were at a party, and she came up and told me, she told me, you need to come to the white side. And I'm like, what?
What? The white side? What?
Yeah, because she date white boys, but all the white boys she dated, they were always like, trailer trash. And I'm sorry, but the one she's married to now is the same, and he a pothead. They got married in Las Vegas.
Of all the people to choose, she chose the niggas of the white world. You're gonna choose a white person. Choose an economically stable white person. God damn.
But this is what my ex at the time he noticed when they opened the doors and her dad was walking her down the aisle. The husband's parents turned red. And that's because she did not tell the parents that the daddy was black. And at the reception, everybody showed up, but his parents, they left. So
that was so awkward. That got to be so.
I know that was awkward.
Y'all just led right into my next segment. Because y'all just actually opened up my next segment, because this next clip is about a mother who made a post about she's a white lady.
I know what you're talking about, Russ. I seen this. Yep.
And she was talking about how to deal with receiving your white daughter having a black boyfriend. Here we go, right here on the final cut.
A woman who hoped that her daughter would sometime find, or one day find, the man of her dreams was a little upset when her white daughter brought home a black partner. However, as she got to know the partner, she decided that, hey, you know what, he's actually a really great Christian guy, And I've become a lot more open-minded toward the black community. And so let me write about my experience so people understand what this is like and what they can do to get through it. Well, when Gay Clark wrote this piece, she didn't expect the amount of criticism that she got. So let me give you the details. Clark, a white freelance writer and cardiac care nurse from Georgia, confessed in a blog post Tuesday on the website The Gospel Coalition that she initially struggled with the idea of her daughter marrying an African-American man. In it, she explained how she ultimately came to embrace her daughter's decision and offered some advice for parents like her to consider if they, too, are hesitant about a child's interracial marriage. So the title of her blog was, When God Sends Your Daughter a Black Husband. Okay, so...
Guess who's coming to dinner? Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? Good to see you.
I hesitate to say this, but I'm a little torn on this story.
Really?
I am. And
because it's not malicious.
Please hear me out. Please hear me out. First of all, I think it takes gigantic balls to come out and say, I was really iffy on him because he was black, but here's what I experienced, and I realized, like, I was being a dick, right? I mean, she didn't say it. I'm paraphrasing her. But to say, like, this was my racial bias, and I realized it was a racial bias, and it was stupid, and I worked through it. I think that it opens up a dialogue that I do not want to, like, put a stop to. Right. Yeah, I think that dialogue is important. Like, look, she comes from an ignorant place. And to come out and say that you were ignorant and here's what you've experienced and here's how you've grown, I think is valuable.
So you sold her, though, because I disagree with you. I think, yes, I think it's not malicious. This is just pure ignorance. She's oblivious. If you read the entire piece, it's so tone deaf because it's so self-righteous.
Yeah.
She does it to serve herself. It's never once does she say that she's confronting her own racist beliefs, that she's confronting her own prejudice biases. Not once does she ever own up to that. It's more of a how-to to other mothers, how to deal with your daughter if she brings home a black man.
Yeah.
That's how it comes off, and that's why people were so offended. And I get it, but I think it would have been much more courageous if she would have been open and honest and said, "This is a piece about me confronting my own prejudices."
Yeah, I mean it's as a black man that's dated a lot of different races, it's kind of one of those when you sit and look at it and it's like, oh, well, this is how you welcome the black folks in, and this is how you feel, and this is what you do, and you do it this, and I did it, and look at me, I'm a hero.
That's
no, you're not a hero, you're an idiot.
That's how she painted herself. It was so self-serving.
I feel so confident about myself. I'm just like Wonder Woman.
She never called herself out.
I'm like June Cleaver. Anybody's welcome in my house. I'm gonna write a book on how to accept the Persian people and if they come into your house, or the Jewish girls when they come into your house. Like,
right. Yeah. She never really talked about
yourself. I understand your thoughts, and yes, that is a conversation that people have, and yes, I have dated people that aren't, black, African American, or that are white or Asian and stuff, and I do notice different looks that, I may get even today in 2016. It is a conversation that needs to be had, but it should be, I saw someone actually said that maybe she should have, had a co-writer with this, or
his mother in it,
somebody in it, so that they can share each other's perspectives.
Yes,
and actually
so
owned
she
up.
cannot try to be like, I don't understand. Why is everyone so offended by this? Why are, she took the post down. Like, why did you take the post down? Why are you so offended?
She's
why
oblivious.
Oblivious to what's going on.
But like so that's what I want to touch on, right? Look, I think intent matters, and I think that, the fact that she's not a malicious person matters as well, right?
I agree.
So what I'm trying to say is there's some portion of the country that has a racial bias, and it doesn't come from a malicious place. It comes because of the families that they grew up in, the areas of the country that they grew up in. And so we want to fight back against that, right? And you do that through educating people. You do that through dialogue. You do that through conversation. And I think that in this case, you guys are absolutely right. She does have that, like, self-righteous, like, I'm a good person and I'm a hero type attitude.
Let me show you how to do it, too.
Yeah. And that definitely rubbed me the wrong way, and it was annoying. But when I read it, I was like, there's hope for her. She's not a hateful person, and I don't want the criticism to make her revert back to disliking.
She listens. I mean, we've all been called out being in front of the camera. We get called out, and if you listen and you learn and you evolve, that makes you that much better of a person. So I hope that she can have a self-aware moment and really read the criticism not the criticism that goes above and beyond. Because
That's
people,
what I'm referring to, though. That's what it's like, yes, there are some people who gave her constructive criticism.
And I hope she listened.
I want her to listen to that.
Yeah.
But, you know, the nature of Twitter, and we're going to get to that later on in the show today, it's just people become vicious, and sometimes that makes you defiant, right? And so if I get something wrong on the show, when I get constructive criticism, I'm like, oh my God, they have a really good point, and I'll correct my errors. But if the first criticism I read is someone calling me a cunty whore, well, then I'm going to be like, well, fuck you. Then I'm going to double down, right? That's not necessarily the most mature way to react, but that's a human way of reacting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not going to listen.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, read this post again, and everywhere it says black man, insert French bulldog, and then tell me if you don't think that she would want to rewrite that whole thing over again. Like you can.
But I love black men just as much as I love the dogs. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't change it.
The way she wrote this is incredibly, I don't want to say dumb, because it's not. I know
it's ignorant. It's ignorant.
It was more than
ignorant,
that,
but
sure.
it's just like, what
she
world
missed the
are
mark.
you living in?
She missed the mark completely, and hopefully she's educating herself, and she's open to continuing to evolve and be a better person.
And she needs to watch Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, both versions, with Ashton Kutcher and Sidney Poitier.
Please forgive me if I'm being personal, but tell me about your sex life.
Well, actually, sometimes we do in the post.
Now I want to know what y'all think about that, man. Like, how did you receive that letter, Flip? Let me hear what you got to say about that letter, Flip.
Hey, well, that was pretty crazy because understanding where the mother was coming from, you know, she never experienced that before. But the only thing it was is that she was never brought up in a house that celebrated black, or that celebrated the black man or anything else. So that's why she was biased about it, because she never dealt with it before. It never came up to her. So, I mean, it was stupid that she wrote the thing, you know, but she's racist. She's racist a little. She got a little racist thing going on, you know. It ain't like she carrying a Confederate flag talking about white power, you know. But
is it more deadly? Is it more deadly to be a closet racist or a person that's racist and does not know that you're racist than a person that is just blatantly racist?
Of course, because a lot of them got that Klan robe hanging up in the back of their closet. Don't play me.
I'm exposed to it. I'm exposed to it out here as a truck driver a lot, especially after the Trump election. I've been to Tennessee where I've seen people walking down the street with the Confederate flag. I've been harassed by white truckers. I've been boxed in and harassed by drivers.
It's always like that.
So I see it a lot out here. And now we carry it. We got guns now, so we have to get guns.
Iris, what do you think about that?
You know what? I think, and I've heard this before, sometimes you have white people that don't even realize they're racist. They think that they're for the people and they good, and their thoughts don't, it don't symbolize racism, but it does, coming when, on the black side of it. And, my husband has a coworker he's white, but the workforce in there is predominantly black, and they always tell him, you do know that you have racist thoughts, right? And he always defends on that. No, I don't. And they always say he don't realize that he's racist. And I think that maybe this woman she's one of those people. She don't even realize it. that her thoughts still kind of fall in line with that.
Yeah, because it's a psychosis. It's embedded. It's embedded. You don't come out the womb hating. You don't come out like that.
Right.
So it's subsequential. It's subsequential behavior. You know what I'm saying? Subliminal things being said or things being done by your parents. You know what I'm saying? Things that you don't see. It sticks in your mind like handprints. and that's what you grow up with, you know.
It's taught and learned.
You know what? I experienced I still say that my coworkers were racist.
Yes, mine
I worked.
too. Yes.
I worked. It was called John Allen, Chicago, and it was a spa for men. And so the environment. I was the only black girl there, and whenever they would throw like holiday parties or meet after work for drinks, they'll tell me about it, but they'll follow up with, "But you don't have to come." And so one day, after the 7th time they did that, I said, "I'm gonna show up." So I went to where they were because they beat me there, of course. And I
because they wasn't no CP time. They showed up when they said they were gonna show up.
Exactly. Yep. And so I got there. I walked up to the table. It was about 10 people sitting at the table, and they all stared at me, and I stared back, and it was so awkward. They stared. I stood there for about 5 minutes. Nobody called over a waitress to get me a chair or nothing. I had to beckon the waitress, and I said, "I'm not leaving here because I know what this is. They don't want me here. So I must eat on their dollar because it was a corporate credit card, too."
Heck
so I called the waitress.
I know that's right.
I said, "I need a chair." They had to move their chairs down and let me sit, and I drank and ate on their dollar. And then I left early, because it was like, wow, that was the very first time I ever experienced it. And this was only about 6 years ago, and I never forgot that.
Wow. So in other words, you were invited to the party, but you weren't really invited to the damn party.
I wasn't really invited to the party. It couldn't be said that they didn't invite me. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Your black
my question
is,
are we that anxious to be accepted by white folk? Are we that anxious to party with white folk? Are we that anxious to be a part of their culture that we'll sacrifice our souls, sacrifice our ambitions, goals, dreams, and who we are as people just so we can get the approval of massa?
Nah.
If anything, you'll come to a party, you'll come over to a party with me.
I just think her black ass walked past their ass while they was talking past the party, and they was like, "Damn, we got to invite her." I think that's what really happened.
Right.
You know what
I'm talking about when the cracker invites you to his cracker party, the black in you doesn't say, "Nah, I don't want to go. Nah, I'd rather party with my people. Nah, I already know what your party's like. Fuck your parties." That's what I'm saying.
Real. I don't want to kick it with niggas either, because niggas don't know how to kick it right.
That's self-hatred. That's self-hatred. Now you stereotyping niggas and saying niggas are not a party.
That's not self-hatred.
Be admitted.
I want to live at the end of the night. I want to be able to go to a party
and white
not get my
white folk at the end of the night.
I done been to both parties.
Hold up, we ain't said a hood party, we just said a black party. Don't describe hood and black. Don't get hood confused with black. We know the difference between a hood party.
I love kicking
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm from New Orleans. We the party central.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of white folks you kicking with. I love kicking it with some white buddies, because white buddies go hard. Like, white people will.
They party.
Now, they might not want to give you 4 acres and a mule, but they'll get your ass drunk at a bar.
Yeah, I'm like, bro,
my 40 acres, I get myself drunk.
I'm good, bro.
Give my 40 acres, give my mule, and I'm going to get myself drunk.
I don't want no drink.
How about that?
Right. I don't want no drink, bro. I'm good. I buy my own drink. I'm good.
I'm a different type of nigga than y'all niggas is. Because if I go to the party...
No. Nigga, please.
If I can save my money...
Nigga, please. We don't invest the real. Nigga, please. Let's get to the real.
You can be black, white, Puerto Rican. I don't give a damn who you is, what color you is. If you just want the nigga that just want to buy all my drinks all night... Hey, go right ahead.
I can't trust you.
I'm going to save my money. But what I'm saying is...
I'm going to turn them cups over.
What I'm saying is...
I don't drink enough to want that.
Me neither.
But there is a difference. I will say this. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let me get in here. Right quick. We over talking each other. Hold on 1 second. One thing I say is the difference is when you go out with black people, black people go out more along the lines of, and even just the example that I use, we more about using each other when we out kicking it. Like, we'll have money and act like we ain't got money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you go out with other races, they like, hey, what you want to do? Let's have a great time. And I'm saying even that about Latinos. I see that with Latinos and they're like, yo, these motherfuckers kick it.
You want some beer in there? You only got free beer.
Well, you got to remember. You got to remember. Your people are at the bottom. You got to remember. We are hungry, so we're gonna come from an angle of hunger. So you got to remember that your people have been through a psychological mind fuck that no other person has ever been in. So you got to love them before you shun them, because we have been shunned for so long by the white folks. We have been knocked down for so long by the white folks.
That only applies if you let that apply to your mind state.
Well, how?
You feel
look at the schools. If you go to public school arena, is it a mind state that the white supremacy is giving our children lower education and giving their children higher education? Is that a mind state or is that white supremacy?
I work in the system, brother. I work in that system, and I can answer that question. Listen, do we get the same amount of schooling and funding that other schools get? No. But
no. White supremacy.
We don't. Let me finish my conversation. You're a little headstrong tonight. Calm down. What you got to understand is this. It comes down to the person. Like, I can grow up in those bad environments, but it's going to be up to me to make decisions whether I'm going to let those environments take care over my life. And I think that's
right.
a problem that a lot of us,
ain't no excuses, man.
as black folks, we ride the excuses of why the fuck we ain't came the fuck up.
I got a question for that.
Go ahead.
I do have a question for that because I'm a scientist, and we know that environments that are built and we place a certain thing inside of an environment, it react a certain way according to that environment. This is natural selection. So now, if I take an environment and I create an environment for you to fail, I create an environment for you to lose, and I create ways and I constantly create obstacles and ways for you to fail and lose, then guess what you're going to do? Most likely you're going to fail and lose. There's one of you bright ones that make it up out of there. There might be two of you bright ones that make it up out of there and be the token Negro that think we all can make it up out of here. But guess what?
Wow.
The average one is going to fall for the trap. The average one is going to fall for the environment that I have set for him. So what about those who don't know, the ignorant, who are uneducated and don't know that this is a silent weapon in a quiet war?
But see, that's when it comes down. But see, that's when it comes down. That's when it comes down.
Right now, doing it.
Exactly. That's when it comes down. Informing.
Right.
Like, see, I think a lot of us. Okay, let me put it to you this way. Have you ever met an old man that all he does is complain? But he got a hella knowledge. But instead of him,
I met young people.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my age. Yeah.
Some people. Hold on, let me finish. Some people are so quick to talk about what a problem is, and they spend most of their time talking about what the problem is, but they never come with a solution. Like, even with the company that I run, I tell every host that I have, do not come to me with the idea unless you really have thought it out. Like, have a plan. And what happens now is we have grown up with a generation and we have accepted the mindset of I don't have to have a plan. Now, some of it is governmental. A lot of it is internal. Because guess what? If you know this by now, because we're not dumb, we're in an age of technology, there is enough information out here to know that, even just with YouTube, you can be an ignorant person and still have access to information. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, that at a certain point you can't. But
what information?
Well, listen, hold on. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something else though. The information. Notice that one thing for certain, two things for sure. That you, my brother, Rush Danger, that body you're walking in is a computer. And like any other computer, it's programmed. Now, when that computer is programmed to a certain degree of programming, it will automatically do according to its programming, and it will not want nothing more for itself. It will not want to get up out of its situation because it's programmed to accept its situation. So I'm saying, solution.
Yeah.
So when you break down the mechanics of this evil root that has got our people so poisonous minded towards ourselves, poisonous minded towards each other, you have to look at the root. So I always like to delve towards the root. You said a solution. Well, a solution is getting the Roundup and spraying the root and letting the root die.
Okay.
What is the root? White supremacy. How do we? I'm
gonna tell you why I agree and where I disagree. Because with a computer, you can delete and you can upgrade your computer.
A BIOS program.
You understand what I'm saying? You can upgrade your knowledge. You don't have to be the dummy all the time.
But guess what? You're going to need a programmer to come do that. You're going to need a reprogramming. So how do you reprogram?
Mm-hmm.
You don't do it on your own. The computer don't do it on its own.
But at some point, as the human being, I give you a prime example because I'm in the battle right now. I decided that I need to reprogram myself about me smoking cigarettes. So I have been struggling today with my reprogramming. This is something that I've known all along. I'm not ignorant to the fact of what cigarettes do to a person.
Right.
But I just had to really make the decision, and this is the difference of what I've done this time as opposed to when I've tried to quit before. Instead of when I get the urge now to smoke a cigarette, what I would normally say is like, damn, I really want to smoke a square. As opposed to reprogramming myself and just saying, I don't smoke anymore. That's my new thing now. When I get the urge right now, that's been the first thing that I say to myself. I don't smoke anymore. So I'm not saying, I'm acknowledging that my body is going through a craving, but I'm reprogramming what's coming out of my mouth because life and death is what's coming out of my mouth. You feel what I'm saying? I'm reprogramming myself. So at some point, as knowledgeable as I was being ignorant to the fact that I was not taking the right course of mindset. Like I was, I'm walking into a battle, but I ain't the right armor on. But, what sense does it make to drop me in the middle of Vietnam and I don't have a damn pistol? Or at least a knife.
I ain't done slingshot.
This is a great conversation. I just want to chime in real fast.
Even though it's not interracial, but it is a conversation. Yeah, it really is.
It's going somewhere else, but that's how we do over here on the Cutting Edge Network. Get that little plug in. But honestly, I think everybody's made fantastic points. But I think one of the things that we can focus on when we're talking about behavior modification, and I believe that's what Brother Prophet was talking about, and Russ, that's what you were talking about
that
too.
could be a program
you
too.
know what I mean? Yeah, so you have to understand what you are updating your computer with, what information. How are you going to know what the truth is? It is seeking the truth. It is knowledge itself.
Well, check it out. I got another clip coming in here. Check this out. We're going to talk about the troubles of interracial dating. Here we go.
That's the quick, man. That's the thing.
That's it. Now, let's hear some trouble.
The troubles with interracial dating. She will unconsciously grab the curls at the back of your neck and people will immediately think that the apocalypse is occurring. Before you can interject that it's okay, your dating in the subtle form of PDA is acceptable, it is an exception to the rule of white people, please stop touching the African empire, that is black hair. 14 brown people will immediately have her arrested against the wall, pointing your eyes with a flashlight. 14 people will accommodate you gently as survivor in the accosting. Hello, sister. Have you been hurt by this white person? And now normally I would probably say yes. But how can I say that no? Her fingers have traced tight circles around coil kinks. How can I say that they know the landscape well? They have detangled like my adopted childhood planted on a brown rug. You will explain to her time and time again that having to get up to turn off the television set because she lost the remote is not actually ghetto. She will only ever see Oreos as cookies. And on that fateful day when she asks you, baby, do you think I'm a Becky? You'll hesitate, chew the inside of your cheek, contemplate a decisive and pensive response that won't initiate an argument. Because her name is actually Becky. And even if they don't always say it, sometimes people will look at you, wonder if she is trying to colonize your skin, fetish your body, exert her imperialism in every word of mouth of every baby, I love you, of every let me show you to my friends, every touch me, here, touch me, of every black girl, you're so beautiful, you don't even know it. People look at her and wonder what fascination does she find in you. They stare with a bitter cold, brush the snow from your cheekbones for you are not deserving of their winter. She'll never say exotic, but she can use that one word, right? I mean, just this once, right? Like, she loves this song, always says it alone in the mirror, in the car, in the shower, at house parties. Like, come on, she's dating you, Jesus. You'll be a party trick for parents, a disappearing act. They are hopeful once this little experiment is over. Once they pin the tail on your head, the noose will hang you out to dry. No more mud on their field of lilies. They have been growing for years. They have been so careful to keep clean, and you are trampling on the stems with dirty shoes. An immaculate field of white lilies. In between bites of a family dinner, masticating racial slurs like tenderloin. Go back to where you came from. And sometimes when she grabs my hand, I feel the click of my heartbeat to a gun trigger. And I've never wanted to say this. Never really wanted to be honest with her because I love her. But when she tells me sometimes, baby, it's only just skin, sometimes I can only cringe.
I'm interested in saying that love conquers all, and in the end, we are all human, and love's what matters.
When I was young, I loved white girls. I mean, it's also weird because pop culture is so dominated by white girls. So if you were into a singer, it's going to be probably a white chick. You know, like, was it Mandy Moore? Was she in that?
You were into Mandy Moore?
She was cool.
Oh, my mom? She's not too sure about this guy.
I just like my coffee black.
I think Ashley's just pretty chilled out. I think she's very relaxed, which I'm not used to. A lot of Irish women are very, very high maintenance.
He says he was like in love with me at first sight. He gave me a drink one day and I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. And then we went to a bar afterwards and
then she sat on my face.
When he dropped trout, I went, oh my God, is that what black dicks look like? I was a little, like if I was wearing pearls, I'd be clutching them. I was a little like, oh my. Well, there's a stereotype. People say black guys have big dicks. Is that true?
Yes, that's the only stereotype I'm proud of having. In the black community, there's a stereotype that black women don't like giving oral sex, right? So the counterpoint to that is that white girls enjoy giving it. So that's the whole thing where it's like, you know, you gotta get Susan because Susan will hook you up.
So you're happy with your Julie?
Yeah. Hooks a brother up. Sure.
He told me, eso no es tuyo. Is that me?
It's like pussy is yours. That's exactly what that means.
I love how you make it seem like it's one way. You know you were all about this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. It's okay. He loves it. It's fine. We all know. The chocolate is good.
I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up around like Asian, Hispanic. It was a melting pot of people, so her race really wouldn't be a factor.
And it's been so great to talk to Julie about it and her to be so open and admit her own ignorance about some of the issues because she grew up in a world where race just didn't exist because it was all white people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see her for like she's black. You know what I mean? It's like she's her. That's what makes her great.
Oh, babe, that's so nice. I love you.
It's pussy points right there.
And on the flip side, it's nice to not feel stupid asking questions to him that are ignorant, but I'm mature enough to know that I don't know.
Everyone in here ate watermelon before.
Yeah, but do they love it like you do?
I'm so happy for
Wow. And it's true.
Wow.
When you choose a Fanta flavor, he goes for grape.
Oh, yeah, Asians do take photos with like this all the time.
So I would say some stereotypes are from the reality and the truth.
Yeah, I would say that.
I think the best part about us working together is that it kind of gives other people hope that it doesn't matter where you're from, if people can pronounce it, how tall you are, how dark you are, as long as they love you for you, then, it works.
It helps if you have an accent environment.
Wait, what's happening?
I won't make it. Good luck with your career.
Aren't you cold wearing this? Like there's such a draft.
Break. All the ninjas go. In love with the money, I ain't never let go.
Ladies, is your hair dry and brittle? Do you have thinning around your edges? Has weave damaged your hair? Or have you experienced hair loss due to a medical condition or medication? Fellas, would you like to have a fuller and richer beard? Well, we have the perfect solution for you. Nourish your hair with Iris Botanicals all-natural hair care essentials. Our restorative hair care system is infused with powerful essential oils to help stimulate hair growth. Go to www.irisbotanicals.com www.irisbotanicals.com. That's www.irisbotanicals.com and order your Restorative Care System bundle, which includes the Aloe Coconut Clarifying Shampoo, Honey and Olive Oil Conditioner, and Rejuvenating Hair Butter, all for the low price of only $49.99 plus shipping. You can also find us at www.thecuttingedgenetwork.com/Iris-Patterson. That's www.thecuttingedgenetwork.com/Iris-Patterson. Iris Botanicals, essentials made by nature.
Hey, yo, now you entered the cutting edge. Hey, yo, now you entered the cutting edge. Hey, yo, now you entered the cutting edge. Hey, yo, now you entered the cutting edge.
You're now listening to The Final Cut with your host, Rush Danja, on Rush Radio.
This show is being brought to you by the CuttingEdgeNetwork.com. Yes, that is the CuttingEdgeNetwork.com. You can find us at www.THEKUTTINGEDGENETWORK. If you would like to call into this week's show and participate as a caller, please call into 516-418-5637. Once again, that's 516-418-5637. Press 1 to go live. Now let's enter the Danger Zone with your host, Rush Danger. Hey, yo. I hope y'all really enjoying the show tonight, man. We got just a few minutes left. We under 10 minutes left on the air. I just want to thank everybody that called up tonight. Wishing everybody once again a happy new year. We really appreciate you all. We would not be having this go on if you weren't on the air listening to us. If we didn't have faithful callers like Big K and the Prophet calling in. I want to thank my whole entire staff. I want you all to listen to them every night. We go on every night at the same time, so that's 5 o'clock p.m. On the West Coast Pacific time. And now that we also have shows in Mountain Time, we have a show coming out of Colorado on Sundays now. So it's 6 o'clock Mountain Time. It's 7 p.m. Central Time. It's 8 p.m. On the East Coast. We really thank you so much. Tonight, I want to thank my special guest, Jasmine, for calling in tonight and sharing her story with us tonight. I know that had to be a very a brave thing to do, to call in to share her story. Big Prophet. You know how I do it at the end of the show. We got like 1 minute. It's like a funeral. You got 1 minute to go ahead and drop what you was thinking about this whole thing about interracial dating. And then I'm going to go ahead and move on to my girl, Iris. And after Iris, I want to go to K, if Big K is still with us. And then after that, I want to go to my guy, Chief James. Then we're going to bring in my girl, Soul Kitten, and I'm going to round it out. This whole thing about interracial dating. You are listening to the Final Cut with the host, Rush Danger. Thank you again for listening, tuning in. If you want to call in and try to get in within the last 5 minutes or so, 516-418-5637. We'll definitely rush you through and acknowledge you as a caller. Let's go in that order that I had just talking about interracial dating. Let's hit it.
Well, all right. I'm gonna keep it in the spirit of my ancestors, and my ancestors told me if she can't use your comb, don't bring her home. You heard me? My ancestors said that for a reason. That's what I'm talking about. So I know y'all infatuated with the white folks and things of that nature. Look, that's what the freaks come out at night. Go out to the streets at night, but don't bring that shit to your house. Keep it black at your house. Keep it black around your cipher. You know, if you want to have an intimate, because guess what? They like us and they deal with us and they fuck with us. But guess what? In the end, they're gonna stick with their kind. So that's what I'm gonna do with mine.
Yep,
I'm gonna stick with my kind.
Right.
There you go. Yep. That's it right there.
Okay, we can next person. Let's go ahead and move it along. Let's move it along. We only got a few minutes left. Let's hit it now.
Hey, all I gotta say is, you know what? America will never be ready for it. It's gonna always be some divide. So that's all I have to say about that.
Next bat. Who's next at bat? I believe it's Chief James.
Hey, man.
Come on, James. Lawful words of this daddy.
For the call.
I'm gonna be like, what the hell is that? Hey, man.
Hey, man, I just,
Oh,
all right. Moving right along. Somebody else got to talk show. Somebody got to talk
You just lost the hell out of me with that one. What the hell?
Shoot.
Who next? Flip, talk to me.
You.
Listen, man. My thing is this: I never dated outside my race. I never intend to. So, stay black, man. Stay black. They love your sisters, love your queens. They out here. That the ratio is like 50. What?
I love my queen, man.
Oh my. Anyway, that's what I got to say.
Rush, you think you can hook that up for me? You think you can hook up a meeting with me and the Soul Kitten, bro? You think you can do that for me?
I need a flight to Philly.
The long connection.
Hey, Doc, look, as long as I show up to work on time.
I keep on me.
Hell, hey, what you mean pimping you out? I can't do nothing about a nigga that come at you like that. Shit, what I'm supposed to do? I turned it your ass.
Somebody trying to get in here in the last 5 minutes.
Somebody trying to get that last 5 minutes in.
Who's that calling in?
Well, we actually had two people, Rush. It is Joe and Big Al.
Joe and Big Al, what's going on?
Yeah.
Where you calling from, Joe and Big Al? Joe, Big Al, where y'all calling
This is
from?
Big Al. I'm calling from. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir, we hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm calling from Texas, and from what I understand, you guys are talking about interracial marriage. I heard somebody from India say, don't date outside your race. In respect to that, why not?
Okay. Why not? I can tell you why not. I can tell you why not right now, because
go ahead, put it on, please.
Oh, all right. My bad. Go ahead.
I know who's telling you to go on.
Oh, instead of going, all right, my bad. I thought somebody.
Yeah, go ahead.
The reason why it's bad to date outside of your race, especially in this day and age, because they got a system in place called white supremacy. And as long as white supremacy exists, your race is not going to mean a goddamn thing. Why? Because white supremacy is the only race that matters in the system of white supremacy. So until white supremacy is destroyed, I would suggest you stick with your own race, because the whites are trying to eradicate all the races besides theirs from off the planet. That's why.
Well, what I want to hear what Big Joe got to say about it. Here we got Joe and Big Al there. What Joe got to say about that?
Man, I don't see nothing wrong with it, man. I mean, I hear what you're saying, man. But once a white lady have a baby, that baby is black. So I don't. What's the problem with it? I'm just trying to see what the problem is. I don't.
Once again, the problem is this: the white people are not talking about sitting down at their radio stations talking about how they're going to dating outside their race. The Chinese people are not on their radio station talking about they want a black man.
I disagree.
All right. Well, let's look at it. Let's look at it real quick. Let's analyze in the public arena on a majority scale.
One second. We got 1 minute left.
Oh,
but it's documented. It's documented. You can go on YouTube right now. Before I did the show, I'm looking at white people talking about this exact same conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So to say other races are not having this conversation about
outside
of their race.
I'm not talking about the conversation. I'm not talking about the actual conversation. I'm talking about the actual subject in the conversation, which is the actual action in the conversation, which is dating outside their race. Nobody's adamant about dating outside their race but black people.
That's not true.
Exactly.
That's not true.
We're going to have to end on that now.
That's not true.
And this is how I feel about it. I think this topic was so good. I think that this topic was so good that I want to extend it to next week. I want to.
There you go, Russ.
Yeah.
And next week, it's not going to be just about relationships. So since y'all want to have a show that's all brawl to the wall next week, come in with your documentation.
So brawl to the wall, then, nigga. Brawl to the wall.
But what I don't want to have happen on the final. Stop, everybody, real quick, because I only got a few seconds left, and I want to make my point straight in 30 seconds. With the final cut, I want everybody to be able to call in no matter what your opinion is. And I don't want anyone to feel attacked. But even if you have a difference of opinion, I want you to speak your opinion. But I do not want it to become an attackful thing, because what happens is we end conversation because we don't know how to talk to each other. That's the final cut. This is your man Russ Danja. Let's get it.